When I woke up, I was all alone. Everyone's gone. Is it because of those monsters?
Silent Hill 2 is a complex masterpiece in storytelling and games that has truly only become better as time goes on. One thing that has stuck with me especially is the characters and their stories and personalities. The game is full of tragic characters that exhibit many emotions and make lasting impacts on James and the player. Throughout the game as well, we are presented with many monsters and antagonistic characters throughout the story. One character though that feels the most unique and layered as an antagonist though is someone we often see as a protagonist along with James, that being Maria. Maria is a character full of mystery as to what she really is. She's a manifestation of James's late wife Mary in a way that is more sexualized and outgoing compared to how James knew his wife in her last years of life, fighting her terminal illness. James and Mary's relationship was turbulent in the final amount of time of Mary's life, which James couldn't cope with the fact that his wife and their life that they once had together were all crumbling down. Maria is here to fill the void of Mary being gone from James and gives James a partner that feels like home in a way. Maria is flirtatious and quick to take a liking to James, and bringing him many emotions and feelings, being faced with someone who looks so similar to his wife, yet isn't her. This inner battle for James is one that brings lots of emotional distress as his journey to find Mary becomes harder on him, a key factor of it being Maria slowing him down and sidetracking James from finding the truth. Many point to Pyramid Head being the main antagonist of the game, this big figure who poses a threat to James constantly, trying to hunt him down, yet James doesn't realize that Pyramid Head is the one figure in the story driving him closer to the truth. With Pyramid Head, James is being brought closer to the reality of his actions and being punished through the hell of Silent Hill in order to get to it. Maria is constantly trying to deter James from getting from one place to another, leaving James' mind occupied with her more in the present moment, but Pyramid Head is the one to come and stop this happening with his constant pursuit and killing of Maria. Pyramid Head is killing the fatal delusions of James in order to bring him to reality and be able to face what he has done. For Maria, James finding the truth leads to her end and therefore leaves her to be considered useless or not needed by James in any way. We can see before the final boss of the game that Maria is insistent on James not being able to move past what he has done, and him being free from his delusions renders her powerless. Maria knows deep down her only purpose is to be this replacement in a way to James, that her existence is one of no meaning outside of him as she is born from his twisted desires. Though in the main story we do not see a lot of Maria's depth, the side story Born from a Wish definitely opens up a lot more for her. Admittedly, the Silent Hill 2 remake does a good job at opening her character more as well, and really gave a new light on Maria. In Born from a Wish, we see that Maria is alone and frightened at the realization that she has no clue as to why she is in Silent Hill and decides to leave Heaven's Night in order to find life within this ghost town. Upon exploring and finding the Baldwin Mansion, we're introduced to Ernest Baldwin and his tragic tale as we solve puzzles and fight our way through the story as Maria learns more of Ernest's tragic story throughout the mansion and her conversations with this mysterious figure who is never even shown. After Maria obtains this white liquid, which we know from the rebirth endings of the game as the White Chrism, for Ernest in order to resurrect his dead daughter, he tells Maria about James, how he's a bad man looking for her, yet someone who truly isn't her. Suddenly, she remembers James, and when Maria goes to see Ernest, it's revealed that nobody is there behind the door where his ghostly voice came from. Upon realizing she is merely another man's desire and not her own person, she contemplates ending her life, but she decides not to and insists on following what she was made for and finding James. We see through this story that Maria is a complicated antagonist. She's merely antagonistic as she's striving to find a purpose and is trapped by the reality that her only purpose is to fill a spot for a man who manifested her out of dark desires in a time where he was unavailable for the woman he truly loved. Maria tries to stop James from facing the reality that killed his wife, as she knows that her existence is only temporary, cannot fill the place that Mary has in James's life. Her life and existence depends on James being sucked into this delusion further and ignoring reality. Even with James fully embracing this delusion, Maria is doomed from the beginning. We see in the Maria ending that if James in the end can't face what he has done, He goes back to Maria to find solitude and comfort as her being the new Mary. Yet, it's shown that Maria is to face the same fate as Mary, and James is doomed to repeat the cycle of hell he faced all over again. Maria can even live a normal existence as is that she yearns for with James, as she is punished merely by the town's sadistic ways, trying to punish James for not learning his own lesson. Maria is Silent Hill 2's antagonist. Though it can be argued that James truly is, as he is the reason for the events in the game through his evil actions, Maria is the primary one stopping us from ending the journey started by James's killing. She isn't an antagonist out of pure evil desire, but the desire to have her own existence, creating a clash with what is needed for a protagonist. Though she's another manifestation of James, she isn't just another monster to represent a corruption within James. James is the monster that represents the corruption of her existence. Even still, through death, the last thing Maria can say or think of is James. Maria lives to serve her purpose and find a new one through him, but is forever trapped, as many are, within Silent Hill.